The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink Community TV, its sponsors, or partners.
Hi there, I'm Gloria McCluskey. Welcome to Destination Dartmouth. My destination this morning is the great Dartmouth General Hospital, and my guest is that super fundraiser, Steve Harding. How are you, Stephen?
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you for
Welcome
being
to Dartmouth
here.
General.
And we only have 8 minutes, so in order to cover everything that you've done down here, we have to be quick.
Okay, great.
So Steve, you know, you've gone out and you've found wonderful donors, and you've done so much. This hospital is second to none now.
We're so proud. Our amazing donor support.
So proud. Amazing donors. Those that have were willing to give. And I don't know how you do it. It must be your smile.
I don't know. It's our generous donors. We have incredible donors who want to make a difference.
Yeah. But it must be your smile, Steve.
I love working with the best people in the province, right?
So and they are the best people.
Donors who want to make a difference.
And they don't only live here in Dartmouth, they come from other places.
All across the country. You know,
all across the country. Let's talk about what's happening and what you've done recently, Steve.
Yeah, so the Lead On campaign, our goal as we met last year, it was $15 million to raise $15 million to bring in.
Last year,
we've done some incredible work this year. Donors stepped up in a big way. So we've now passed our goal. We're at 15.8 million, which is incredible. We're 8 months ahead of schedule to where we should be. The donors have really stepped up. We have an MRI.
I know.
So it's really about the impact, and thanks to the Calder family and all of our donors, the Jane W. Murphy Foundation, we have an MRI in Dartmouth General now.
Isn't that wonderful?
We're seeing over 5,000 patients. It runs 7 days a week. We're going to take 1/3 of the wait list off of.
And how comforting is that for people to know that they don't have to wait for a couple of years for an MRI?
Exactly, yes. 300 days was the wait list before this MRI, so now we will cut that by a third.
As fast as you can.
We have a new orthopedic robot. The Lead On campaign brought us the orthopedic robot.
Have you ever named that robot?
Not yet. Yeah, we have to do that contest, but it's great. So Dr. Layton did the first robot-assisted hip replacement in Canada, as you learned last year.
I know.
Now she's done over 400 surgeries with the robot, making a big difference.
How dedicated is that? Yeah.
Same-day surgeries, so that patients can get home in their
And that's a good thing.
Really good, yeah.
You know.
The drive-through blood collection site, so we talked about that.
The drive-through blood collection is second to none. You know, I go there, and it's so easy. But still, Steve, people don't know about that.
Yes, get the word out. Thank you for helping to spread the word.
I was telling people the other day, you know, and they said, "Where is it?" And I told them, and of course that's because of the Braggs. They made a donation.
Thanks to the John and Judy Bragg Innovation Fund. They've created this innovation fund, which, you know, the first project was in England. They do drive-through blood collection, so we learned from the British and we brought it here. And 98% patient satisfaction. Patients love it. And it books up really quickly. So
and let me tell you, the nurses are so good who do it.
Yeah, they're incredible.
They're great.
Incredible
team. You go in there, they can't find a vein. They manage to find it, and you don't even feel it.
That's right.
So they're great.
Thanks to the Braggs, we also have the GI Genius. So for artificial intelligence, you'll talk to Dr. Riley Stewart today.
Yeah, GI Genius.
So he brought artificial intelligence for colonoscopies here at Dartmouth General.
Isn't
it was
that
the first
wonderful?
in Canada to do that.
So well, why not? We're number one.
We're number one, exactly, yeah. So we have a great team. It's an innovation culture that we're so proud of. And now this year we have, in the emergency department, patients coming in the emergency department get a wearable, a vital signs monitor.
Isn't that wonderful?
Like an Apple Watch device type of a watch, plus a pulse oximeter for their fingers.
And it gives them something to watch, too.
That's right, exactly. But we've diagnosed 4 AFibs. That were previously undiagnosed.
And that's so important, that AFib diagnosis.
You can find that it really helps the patient's quality of life.
Yeah, and it teaches them how they have to change their life.
That's right. Yeah, so catch those early, that can really have a big impact.
Catch it early,
yeah.
That's wonderful. And not only are the great donors, but you also have the people who support the golf tournament, who support the lobster
We just had our 39th annual lobster dinner this past June. We set another fundraising record, $420,000.
And that money went?
For an endoscopic ultrasound and the RFA radio frequency ablation laser, which Dr. Riley Stewart will talk about. So it's fantastic. You know, patients with pancreatic cancer, endoscopic needs, this is really going to be state of the art for Nova Scotia.
Isn't that great?
the Barrett's esophagus procedures. We're going to have the only surgeon that does that in Atlantic Canada. So we're super excited about what this year means for patients. Yeah.
It's just wonderful what it means. And we also have the auxiliary, the volunteers who work there and the money they make goes toward the hospital.
They're great volunteers, and they're incredible. They run the gift shop. We have a very strong auxiliary, which they're thriving, which is not the case across the country. So we're very loyal.
Good volunteers
who come
volunteers here and work
make things happen,
day.
right? So, yeah.
So the next big project is the emergency department.
That's right. So our next campaign will focus on our 50th anniversary. So we're about to turn 50 years old as the Dartmouth General. You were on the original board.
I was on the very first board here.
So we've come a long way. We've now been designated a regional hospital.
Can't imagine.
So from a small Dartmouth
this
community
little hospital where everybody was eager to make it work, but the little hospital it's like the little train that could.
Engine that could, exactly, right. So now we're a regional hospital, the second largest in the province. And with this next expansion, we'll be the largest regional hospital in the province.
You're kidding.
Right here at Dartmouth. So we're so proud of that.
Well, why not Dartmouth?
Our next campaign will raise money for the new emergency department for the equipment that goes inside. We also want to bring a hospice to Dartmouth. And I've been passionate about this for a long time, and bringing a hospice here somewhere in the Dartmouth community. We connected to Dartmouth General will really help. We have a brand new palliative care wing here at the Dartmouth General, thanks to the Jane W. Murphy Foundation.
Yes.
Patients are loving that, and patients' families, in terms of dying with dignity, and bringing a hospice will really augment that.
And of course, we can't forget the government. They've been on side. They believe in our hospital now.
All governments, have been supporting Dartmouth General, and all parties come together around healthcare in Dartmouth General. So, this new expansion, the new emergency department, is thanks to the government leading the charge on that. We're so grateful, but. What donors love is when government comes in to match donor dollars.
Exactly. And that knows that they're all stakeholders. They all care.
That's right. And when the Premier was here last month, he looked at the donor wall and he really recognized the community spirit.
Of course he would.
That is appealing to government so that they can match those donors.
When they know that many people care.
That's right. It's important for the community.
It's important to them that they also share in the good news.
That's right. It's a partnership. So that's philanthropy in action. So that when you can have government matching donors who want to make a difference, that's the magic. That's the magic sauce.
And I know those who work in the emergency department will be delighted to have a new department.
Dartmouth is growing, right? So Dartmouth is booming. There are 7 new subdivisions being built within 10 minutes from Dartmouth General. So we need to prepare for the future. And
we do.
We need to have an emergency department that's double the size of the current one.
I'm glad to hear you're preparing for the future, because we find that when the immigrants are coming to the metro area, we're not prepared,
That's right. The word is out. Dartmouth is a place to live, right?
Well, Dartmouth is, but we tried to keep it a secret.
Destination Dartmouth, right? Everyone's coming to Dartmouth.
Well, listen, Steve, you know something? That 8 minutes is almost gone. Is there one fast thing you want to talk about?
I want to say thank you to our staff as well, the staff and the team at the Dartmouth General Hospital Foundation.
Yeah, it's not only you, it's the great staff behind you. Couldn't do it without the staff.
Incredible. We have a great team
and they've all bought in.
Incredible, like the culture here at the Dartmouth General of our foundation staff, but also of the hospital.
And everybody wears their heart on their sleeve, and they're proud to be part of it.
It's a can-do attitude here.
It is. So thanks very much, Steve.
Thank you for your support, Gloria.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been watching Destination Dartmouth. My guest has been that great guy who brings all the money in here, Stephen Harding. Be right back. Welcome back. I'm here at the great Dartmouth General, and my guest is Dr. Riley Stewart. Thank you, Dr. Stewart, for being here this morning, and welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And I understand that you've been here for 3 years?
5 now.
5?
Yeah. Oh. Time flies.
Time goes fast when you're having a good time. And we are indeed fortunate. But I want to ask you, what brought you here? How'd you get at this Dartmouth General Hospital?
Well, that goes way back, actually. So, I grew up in Halifax, not in Dartmouth proper. And went away, did some schooling in Ontario, came back and did my medical school here. My wife and I wanted to stay in the province, and when I was doing my medical school training, I did an elective actually here with Doug Legay.
Oh, did you?
thinking, because
He did my knee.
That's right. My background's in kinesiology, so I thought I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. I had a great time with Doug, but didn't want to do what Doug did. And then spent some time with Alex Mitchell, and then I did a whole bunch of rotations here because I love the community feel so much during my medical school training and my residency, and so was really excited to be able to come back and work in a hospital that had such a great, warm community feel.
It has.
Yeah.
And Dr. Stewart, I think it's important for the people out there to understand how much time it takes, how much your time, how long you studied, how long you trained to get in the position you're in today.
Yeah.
We don't always think about that. We know how much athletes train to go to the Olympics, but we don't know how much time our great healthcare workers spend getting ready to do the job you do.
Yeah, it's well. So I did an undergrad degree and a master's degree, and that was 7 years, and then medical school's 4 years, and then residency training's 5 years, and then I did 2 fellowships, which were near 2 years. So I guess whatever that is.
So how much of your life you've donated to just, your studies and your training, and how many sacrifices you made? Because of course there's sacrifices involved.
Well, yeah, I think it is a calling, and there is a sacrifice that's made. You have to make a lot of decisions.
And a dedication.
The hours you work, yeah, and a dedication, yeah. And so, you make choices to do the best you can with the work you do, and the best you can with the family you have, and then you try and fit in a few things for yourself along the road. But it's busy and it's tough to do. But you've got to love what you do, which I do.
Now we're going to talk about why you're here, what you're doing.
So this year we raised money at our lobster supper for 2 things. The largest piece is endoscopic ultrasound. So most people have heard of pancreatic cancer.
Yes.
It's
I had a friend just die recently.
Yeah, it's a bad cancer. It works quickly, and time is of the essence in the diagnosis to get treatment and to prolong people's lives or cure them if possible. And so one of the things that's necessary for that is endoscopic ultrasound, which is a test where it goes down the food pipe into your stomach, and we use an ultrasound to biopsy the tumor so we can tell exactly what type of cancer it is and what treatment to best deliver. They do some of that in Halifax, but they don't do enough of it, and the wait time is very long.
And as you said, it's so crucial to get there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So ideal care is 2 weeks or less, and for a while it was closer to 4 weeks, and it's better now, but it's still not ideal. Basically, the faster the better. Basically, so. We have myself, who I'm trained to do it, and Dr. Rob Berger here, who are ready to go, and being able to deliver better care and faster care for patients with cancer is ideal. And it's not just pancreatic cancer. You can use it in the diagnosis of esophageal cancer and gastric cancer and rectal cancer, and also it's used for people with bile duct stones. So the gallbladder produces stones, and those stones can get stuck in the main plumbing of the liver, and we often can use this type of technology to find those stones to know when we have to take them out. So that's the first piece. And then the second piece is cancer related as well. It's something called radiofrequency ablation. So esophageal cancer of the food pipe is another one that works, that is aggressive and generally works quickly. And it, like polyps in the colon that develop into colon cancer, it develops also from a change in the lining of the esophagus that's not cancer. So when we detect that change, we can actually burn it early. We can burn it off, and we can prevent esophageal cancer, save lives. And that technology is not available in this province. And I was trained to do it, and Dr. Rob Berger as well.
So it's the first here?
That's right, yeah. So people were getting sent to Moncton to have this procedure done, or they were getting a different procedure, which is not the standard of care, to try and do the best to clear it up.
And you think about how much more anxiety that causes for them. You know, to be able to come right here now instead of having to travel to Moncton. It's wonderful. And is there much greater demand these days, Dr. Stewart, for this kind of investigation?
Cancer rates are certainly rising, so we are seeing that an increase in cancer rates, and especially in younger people. And so there is a demand for these things, but there's also an increased demand because, as we all know, the population has increased. So, you know, this year I think it was out west, but last year outside of Moncton we had the largest population increase in Nova Scotia out of any place in the country, and it was in the HRM. It was huge, right? So we have a huge influx of population, a huge demand for endoscopic ultrasound, for radio frequency ablation, and it does cause a lot of anxiety for people to travel. And also some people just aren't able to travel. Some people in smaller communities with very limited social networks, they can't even find ways to travel to Halifax or feel comfortable doing that, let alone to another province.
And some people just give up.
That's right, yeah. And so they don't get the care they need because they don't feel that they can access it across the water sometimes, let alone in another province.
And they have nobody to help them.
That's right.
A lot of people are alone. And they don't feel well, they don't know where to go, they don't know what to do.
And these procedures are specialized, and you can't have them in every single hospital, just because there wouldn't be enough volume to do in every hospital. But Dartmouth General, as you know, is the government's invested a lot of money into this site and purchased land, and so we're going to be we're going to probably be the largest health center in the province,
and the best,
and maybe and for sure the best. We're maybe not going to be doing the liver transplants and some of the very, very specialized stuff that Halifax does, but we're going to have a huge amount of land to produce a center where we can deliver to our community.
And you can't do everything in every hospital.
That's right.
You probably never do open heart surgery here.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but certainly procedures like this we can do here, and we should do here.
We'll be right back. You're watching Destination Dartmouth. I'm here at the great Dartmouth General with Dr. Robbie Stewart. Be right back. Okay, Dr. Stewart, we're back. You're going to tell me some of the other great things you're doing here now.
Yeah, so one of the other things that we've now been up and running for over a year now, which has been really great, is we brought artificial intelligence using the GI Genius. So we were the first center in Canada to use the GI Genius artificial intelligence.
Right here in Dartmouth.
Yeah, and there are some other products out there and that have been in other places as well, but the GI Genius itself is a standalone platform. And when I say artificial intelligence, what it does is it takes millions of images of colon polyps, and it creates a program that can find them for us. And so it doesn't find them for us per se, it helps us to find them.
Yeah.
And so by finding more colon polyps, we can remove more, and colon polyps cause colon cancer. So if we take them out, if we see them, we take them out, we prevent colon cancer.
I think I saw something about that on television one day, or on internet somewhere. I saw the different pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's effective, and there's lots of good studies that show it's effective. And our colon cancer screening program is run predominantly out of Dartmouth. Really, I would think that the highest volume of colon cancer screening, so our FIT test program, the mail-in test that you get, is run out of Dartmouth. And so all those patients, they get the assistance of artificial intelligence to find their polyps. And this year we had I believe it was 9 or 10 of our endoscopists that were finding polyps in more than 80% of people, and we've never had that much. And so
that went unnoticed, and then it was cancer.
Yeah, so to find polyps in 85% of our patients probably is the benefit of this artificial intelligence, at least in small part.
Yeah, and it really tells you the need for it.
Yeah.
And I guess this is because of donor John and Judy Bragg that were able to have some of that equipment.
That's right. Yeah. They generously donated the money for it, and we were able to get
the lobster dinner helped with that.
That's right.
All those lobsters you had to make yourself eat.
That's right. That's right. Delicious lobsters, and they were delicious. Yeah. No. So we're quite pleased to have that technology, and I think it really delivers something for our patients
that they wouldn't otherwise have if
right.
they weren't here with this department.
That's right. Yeah. Still, we're the only site in the central zone, so Halifax, Dartmouth area, that's using artificial intelligence, and so we're quite happy to have adopted that and be able to deliver the best possible
So
care.
are you in the endoscopic department? Is that where you operate from?
So I do surgery and endoscopy, so I do both, and I do what we call advanced endoscopy, so that's this endoscopic ultrasound, something called ERCP, which is a test we use to clean out the bile duct, the tubing of the liver, or to relieve blockages from cancer. And we started that program here recently as well over the last year, and that's been in large part because of our foundation as well. So that patients had to wait on average 4 days to be transported to Halifax on their own to have this procedure and then back. Oftentimes waiting longer because of transport issues and delays. I'm sure as you've read in the paper,
I know.
issues with our EHS transports and not having enough. So
all you have to do is come down to the hospital and see how many are lined up.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And so now we've been able to cut that wait time down to, I'm able to do it within a couple of days for patients,
that
and they don't
great?
have to go across the bridge. So it's been a benefit, again, thanks to the donors from our foundation, because these technologies, even if we have people that can do the skill, they're expensive technologies, and our healthcare budgets are
It's just not there.
restricted. Yeah.
And when you think of that, we wouldn't have all these great things if we hadn't brought Stephen Harding in and
Absolutely.
his staff,
Yeah.
the great foundation.
Yeah.
They've been able to find all these willing donors,
Yeah.
not only from Metro, but from all over the province. And we thank them as well as thank the great doctors who are here doing it for us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the strong foundation draws, people with, a drive for innovation and training from all these various places in to work in Dartmouth, because the
Exactly.
community and the technology and a foundation that says, what can we do to help you care for patients better? It's a very inviting place to work.
It is.
Yeah.
And they have great staff here. You go in the emergency department, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
a lot of patience, that's for
I
sure.
don't know how they do it. I don't know how they're so patient.
Yeah.
But we are indeed lucky, from the days of a little hospital here to just think of what we have now and the services and great doctors like you who are here working for us. And we appreciate that so much.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I can tell you're dedicated, and
Yeah.
I have a scope. I was up a couple of years ago and had a scope, and they're always amazed that I don't want anything. I just swallow the thing.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot to go in and have a procedure, but I think we do the best we can to,
Well, you do.
to provide a good, a comforting and information, well-informed environment so that people are as relaxed as they possibly can, especially if it's their first time,
Sure.
Yeah.
Some people can't relax, but you do all you can to make them relax.
That's right.
So how long a waiting list do you have now, Dr. Stewart?
Well, it depends on what it's for. So we're in the process of trying to get more general surgeons here. So
Oh, are you? Good.
yeah, it's wait list for general surgery procedures, elective general surgery procedures approaches 5 years. It's totally untenable. And so we're in the process of doing the best we can to try and put in, so we have proposals in from more general surgeons to try and help alleviate that, to get better care for
Is Dr. Murdoch
patients.
still a surgeon?
Yeah, he's still here.
I know Dr. Murdoch from the golf course.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still here. He'll probably be here for another few more years, I would say.
Yeah,
And
he's
then
a
he's
great
probably
guy.
going to throw in the towel, I would guess. But not yet. He's still going strong.
No, he's
Yeah.
he's too young to retire.
Yeah,
Has too much to offer.
that's right. He does. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're almost out of time, Dr. Stewart. Is there one final thing you have to say to the people out there? And to interject, I want to thank you so much. We're so fortunate to have you along with all the other great doctors here. So something you want to add?
Well, I think for me, what's most important is our community, and our donors, and our patients, and the physicians here are just very grateful to have all these people around us to help create the best health system we possibly can. And we're happy to be able to deliver the best care we can for the patients, basically.
And in a small province like Nova Scotia, You know, we're so fortunate to have the doctors that we have.
We
Because
need more.
lots of people don't want to come here to this small province.
Yeah.
They'd rather, but
Well, they're missing out.
I know they are.
Yeah.
So look, thanks again, Dr. Stewart. So great meeting you. And
thanks
keep
for
up
having
the
me.
good work,
Yeah,
and
thank
we
you.
Really appreciate you.
Thanks so much.
You've been watching Destination Dartmouth down here at the great Dartmouth General Hospital with the fabulous Dr. Stewart. See you soon.